And we are live.
Yeah.
This is Seth here, also known as Recurve.
Hello.
He's my good friend for a while. I don't know how to pronounce your last name, and I'm kind of embarrassed to say that because I've known
okay.
you for a long time.
Nobody knows.
What is it?
It's Shonak.
Shonak. Okay.
Looks like Choinak.
I always say Chinoke.
Yeah,
I always say
Chinoki.
Chinoke.
My one history teacher called me Chinake because it was a type of Native American tribe, and he
Oh,
was
nice.
like, "Yeah,
It does have a Native American vibe to it.
it might be, I don't know. My dad's Polish and Irish, and we always thought it was Polish, but then I met Polish people that said, no, the way that's spelled, it's Choynake, and it's pronounced Shonak, and they were like, no, the way that's spelled, it can't be that. I don't know, it's probably Irish. And then Irish people, they're like, nah, we don't think that's part of our name language, so nobody knows where it might be from. I don't know.
Wait, so you're a mutt of so what are you?
My-
All your different ethnicities.
Half black, half white. Basically, I guess. My dad being Polish and Irish, and my mom being black of, we don't know, I don't know, just general.
Besides, I'm not black, but the other stuff you and I have in common, I am Irish and Ukrainian. So we're almost the same, except you're black and I'm Italian.
Exactly. No, never mind. I was going to say, there's black Italians, that's black Irish.
Black
what was I going to say? There's, you said Ukrainian. I have a Ukrainian friend, and I said spasiba because I thought that's how you said thank you in Ukrainian. Turns out it's Russian, and Ukrainians and Russians don't have the best history, I guess. Like, Russians don't tend to care, but Ukrainians are like, how dare you say
I know. Yeah,
I was like, oh no, and that's when I learned. She was
the funny
like,
thing is, though, we all like to be like, oh, what's your mix and what's your mutt, but the truth is, none of us actually practice the traditions. I'll be like, I'm Italian, but I can't speak Italian. I can speak Spanish, but it's not because I'm Spanish.
How many Italians speak Italian?
It's just
just the grandmas that
Yeah, I think my great grandmother spoke Ukrainian, and my grandma spoke Ukrainian for a little bit because her mom only spoke Ukrainian.
Yeah.
But when she came to the United States, she had no reason to continue speaking Ukrainian because she was talking to other people besides her mother. So it's I'm Italian, but my grandparents didn't speak Italian. My grandma barely spoke Ukrainian, but it's if we trace it back,
Exactly. I don't speak any other language except English. I know how to say thank you in a lot of languages. That's about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think I'll think about which ones: Korean, Chinese, Japanese, Ukrainian.
Let's hear it. Hook it up.
Polish, Russian, Portuguese. So 감사합니다 is Korean.
Oh, damn.
Domo arigato is Japanese. Shishi is in Chinese. Spanish, gracias. Merci, French.
French, yeah.
Mandarin?
What
were the other ones?
Any Mandarin,
no.
Polish?
Polish, dziękuję.
Damn.
Ukrainian, yakuyo, I think. Oh, yeah?
I don't actually know. I don't actually know. Yeah, I know. I'm impressed.
I know that I always say it wrong. So when you said, I was like, did I get it? And then spasiba is Russian. Dzień dobry. No. That's good afternoon in Polish. I meant to say, oh my God, obrigado is Portuguese. And then somebody told me in Arabic, and I have it in a note on my phone, but I don't remember.
You got a good memory. I've been meaning to ask you. This is totally unrelated, but just because it noticed my attention, the Batman symbol.
Oh, yes.
So you're Seth. Say it again.
Shonak.
You're also Recurve on your Instagram, but you're also Batman. And I actually have you saved in my phone as Batman, and you've always called yourself Batman, but I never even bothered to ask, why did you start calling yourself Batman?
Well, I am Batman. That's just firstly.
Literally, he is Batman. So I never.
Just don't tell anybody. Just you guys. I'm trusting you.
I just took it for a word. I was like, okay, he's Batman. Saving my phone as Batman.
Exactly. And I got my permanent name tag on my arm.
Yeah, he has a Batman tattoo, and that looks like it must have hurt because that's a lot of black ink.
It did. It was the first tattoo I had, and it was cool. I was just sitting there. I'm Batman, so I just took it. And that was 100% the thought in my head. I was just like, you got this, come on, And I got a second tattoo on my side. It's just 2 words. It's very small. I don't know if you can kind of see it. says, "All right, Tank."
Okay, first of all, now I'm getting sidetracked. How are you not like fat from the quarantine? Have you been working out?
I have. I've been in quarantine. It felt so much like prison. I was like, I'm going to treat it like prison. I always told myself, not that I ever plan on going to jail, but if I did, I would get prison big. Yeah. And so, yeah, I started working out. I don't know. I feel
cool. Like it's like one or two ways. Like either people in quarantine, like they just let themselves go completely, or something like snapped in them and they were just like, I'm gonna fix things.
I feel like it's if you went to the gym before and they're closed, you're like, okay, no motivation. Or maybe if you didn't, you find it. I don't know. That's like
I went through different phases of that. Like when it first happened, I was like in the middle of working with a fitness trainer. So I was like still in my grind. I was like, I'm not going to let this get to me. And I got really lean and then like let myself go for a few weeks and then got lean again. So I've been like yo-yoing in the fitness game, like just all over the place. And now I'm like back in it. So
my biggest fitness motivation is usually always was Batman when I'm working out.
Wait, so we have to get back to that. Why do you call yourself?
When I was in 10th grade is when I officially started calling myself Batman. Yeah. For what seemed like no reason. I didn't read comics, but I just liked saying it. And it was like, and he was always my favorite superhero. I think back and I thought back to like preschool. I was like Batman 2 years in a row. 2 years in a row for Halloween. I had like a little cape and I had a Batman Beyond little action figure. That was my favorite toy. I don't know where that is, but so I always liked him. But then when I got my first job at Toys R Us when I was in 11th grade, I started making money. And I don't know if I heard something. I was just looking at a lot of I was really getting into Batman. I was reading or watching a lot of YouTube videos. Eris Quinones on YouTube just describing all the Batman things and just DC Comics, like they break down the whole universes and stuff. And I was like, this is so cool. And I started making money and I was just like, I'm going to buy some comic books. And it just...
That's so funny that like you didn't like Batman at first. You just liked the name. Like the name appealed to you. And then from the name you started liking... Yeah.
I always liked him as a concept, but I never knew...
what he was,
like,
what he did.
You know, and then I learned and I was like, oh yeah, that's me. So I'm Batman, but you know,
it's that two-syllable appeal. Batman, Recurve.
You know, it's like I always was, but then it just actualized itself. You know, like when people say like, oh, when did you like become gay when you come out of the closet? No, you've always been that, but I came out of the closet as Batman, you know?
Came out of the Batcave or whatever.
Yeah.
So Seth is a musician.
I am.
He plays keys. He writes his own songs.
I'd like to... Recurve is a musician.
Recurve is a musician.
Right?
Seth is Batman. Never mind.
Yeah, so I'm Seth and also Batman, but
When's your birthday?
July 10th.
Are you a Gemini?
Cancer.
Oh, you're the same thing. I was going to say you have all these multiple personalities, and I'm a Gemini, and we're known for having multiple personalities. But you and Robbie are like totally different. Or maybe you're similar. You're similar in the sense that you're musicians.
I think about that.
But your personalities are different.
Yeah. No, it's I love Robbie too. Like, oh my God, I always call him my piano sensei to all my friends, and like it's so funny. He taught me how to play. And it's the coolest thing I know how to do. I'm forever grateful.
You learned from Hank, who unfortunately passed away, and Robbie. Those were like your two. Did you ever have any other teachers that you studied with?
No. Literally, Robbie showed me one day. We were hanging out in his house, and he showed me how to form a C major chord, and I did it with these three fingers, which is not correct. You're supposed to be these three. And he showed me, he goes, all right, so you have the 1, you skip 3, and you have the 3, you skip 2, and you have the 5. And then if you want to make it minor, you just inverse it. And I was like, oh, okay. And I knew what the keys were called because I played trumpet from like 4th to 8th grade. And I knew music theory. I always sang. And like, you know, musicians can hear a song and just kind of hear the key and hum along to it. It'll be a brand new song and someone goes, oh, have you heard this before? I was like, no, just know the music.
So you're more of an ear player than like reading the sheet music, reading the tabs and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely learned that way a little bit more so in the beginning. He showed me how to form the major and minor chords, and then like a couple weeks later, he showed me how to do a major scale. And with that, I just started playing, and I got like Ultimate Guitar Tabs app, and
I have that app too. That app is a lifesaver.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I literally, it's 100% of the time in front of me when I'm on a gig, and but yeah, and like just doing that, and then I started writing songs because. I don't know. Well, the first song I ever wrote, I wrote before I knew how to play piano. I was literally sitting in my house listening to Spotify, and I just got my Spotify premium account. I'm looking for new music, and I'm like, I don't know, like, I want a song that sounds like this. And the literal thought in my head was like, I want a song that sounds like XYZ, but that song doesn't exist. So I'm gonna make it.
Yeah, that's actually a very inspiring thing. I thought the same thing about like different podcasts or content. I mean, there's kind of like everything is out there now. But one thing that inspires me is, do you ever like try to look something up on YouTube and you're like, damn, I'm looking for this video but I can't find it?
Yeah.
Those are always the types of things. Or if I'm looking for a type of song but I can't find it, those are usually the types of things that I'm like, well, why don't I be the one to make that thing? You know, there's obviously a desire for it. If I'm looking it up, I can't be the only person who's thinking of it. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Yeah.
I learned that when I was like, I don't know, in like 8th grade, and you try to search something like Yahoo Answers, and
that's like so old now.
the amount of specific problems that like one person can have in their life, and I read the whole description of the question, and I'm like, oh my God, like, is this like, are we the same? Like, what? It's funny, like, I don't know. That's why memes are so interesting. Like, just the fact that how much people can relate on certain things, and like the internet just kind of showed us how much we don't. Like, you think that one thing you thought as a kid looking at an outlet or whatever, like something random, and then like someone else had that same experience as a kid, and you're like, oh my God, like, wow, it's pretty cool.
I think that's like one of the parts of, I guess you could say, growing up and maturing, or even being an artist or a musician of any type, realizing that the ideas that you have exist and are usually like, you might think you're creating an original idea. Like, I'll be in these zones where I'm just like, oh my God, I just wrote this amazing chord progression. And in the moment it feels like I wrote it, but then I can always trace it back to like, no, wait a second. This is like Amy Winehouse and like whatever, Bob Dylan combined into something that I thought was original. But that's what makes it original. It's like you draw your inspirations and you kind of tie them together. It's like a family tree. It's like all these musicians and their ideas giving birth like to another musician's ideas. But it's like, learning, part of maturing, I guess what I was saying is like learning that you're not necessarily special, you're not necessarily original. You get your ideas from some other source, you know? That's
my mom told me once, and I really didn't want to accept it when I heard it. I was probably in like 5th grade, and she said, there's nothing new under the sun. And she's a very spiritual woman, and I think it's something in the Bible, and I've heard the saying, and I was just like, no, well, like, what if you made this? And she's like, nope. Probably got inspired by something else, and I was just like, but what if and like and it really hit me when I wrote a song and I thought, man, these chord progressions, how did these chord progressions come out of my body? Oh my God, this is the coolest thing. And I'm playing it at a gig, and our friend Brian from Brian Hansen Band, he comes up and he goes, oh, hey man, that would be perfect, the song Always Be My Baby. These are the chords. It's like,
you thought it was your original.
I was like, so proud. I wrote it and I was like, oh my God. I was like, Hank would be so proud. Like all these things. I'm like, this is gonna be the coolest song. And he goes, oh yeah, you could totally sing the Always Be My Baby part over that. And I was like, oh yeah, I guess that does work. And he's like, nah, it's the same exact chords. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, the same exact chords. And I was like, no. And I searched the song and I was like, these are the 100% same exact chords.
I mean, there's artists out there doing different things and trying different things. Like, I think
different melodies,
Yeah, Billie Eilish, I find, is a very unique artist. Her ideas still aren't necessarily original. Like, I can always trace her ideas back to other things, but just her unique spin on it. The way she does, like, I don't know, I love it. It's like creepy techno beat. I don't know.
And like the vocal harmonies and things she does, like it's really cool.
So.
I've been sleeping on Billie for some time. Like there was one song, Ocean Eyes.
Oh yeah, that's a really good song.
The Black Bear remix, you ever hear that?
No, I never heard it.
It's pretty sweet. Like there's just a cool extra line, and it's more like there's a bit of a beat, more of a beat to it. And that's the first thing I heard, and I never thought about her or anything.
Yeah.
And then she got all popular and like anything when I was in 8th grade. Justin Bieber got big.
Oh, I actually never got into Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
Does he have good music? I have no idea.
He does. The thing is, it's like all the guys were like trying to shit on Justin Bieber because all the girls loved him. And it's like, and we're like, oh, blah, 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 that stupid haircut. And it's like, I listened to one of his albums. There was one song I saw on Instagram somebody used for like a dancing video. And I was like, what is this? And I was like, that's Justin Bieber?
Yeah.
And then I searched that album, and it's the album Journals.
Yeah.
Best album. So good. Like R&B. Like it's the type of music I strive to make. And that was the moment I was just like, I really got to stop, letting cultural biases
it's so funny, like to bring it back to even Billie Eilish. I feel like she has such a like polarizing reaction from the audience. Either people love her or hate her. Like some people, like musicians, like some musicians are like, she's just a stupid kid who had a rich family and stuff like that. Like she's not original. People will say she can't sing because she's not like, I feel like singing these days is taking a new direction. Like back in the day, it was like Mariah Carey and Christina Aguilera, and it was like that really impressive, like
vocal
almost gospel belty like types of stuff. And she definitely doesn't sing like that, but in my opinion, she uses her voice as an instrument. You know what I mean? Like it's
with the way that she like has it build up the song, like it's mostly her voice.
It's like, a different style. It's not the powerhouse vocals. It's not Ariana Grande, but it's
she
musical.
Has her
it's
own
really
niche
good.
too of like, and it's still like kind of like R&B like, it's still pop like, but it has all these different influences, and like
it's really cool.
I don't know, like when like you have all these ideas of what you see about everyone loving someone, and you want to hate them automatically, and then you start checking them out, and you're like, oh, why do I like David Dobrik? I don't know why I didn't want to like him. I love his videos. Like, it's so cool. Like,
I used to be like that when I was much younger. Like, I used to only listen to punk music.
Yeah.
And I was like, and it's so funny now that I'm like a more mature musician, I realize all the things I listened to only had 3 chords.
Right?
like when I was younger, I just hung around with like my high school friends, and they were all punk rock type of kids, and we liked like Operation Ivy, which actually I still love that band, and like The Addicts and stuff like that. And then once I went to music school and started studying classical music and learning theory and stuff like that, I was just like, oh, like my eyes were completely open. And that's when I stopped being like, oh, I only listen to punk and everything else is mainstream and I'm cool, like, anarchy. Like I kind of got over that, and now I listen to all different types of things because I don't know, you just mature and you learn that that's just such a dumb way to look at things. I mean, there have been some songs on the radio where I'm like, okay, clearly this is a money maker and there was no heart and soul put into this, but not everything on the radio is like that.
And the thing is though too, like sometimes the money making songs, sometimes they slap, like it's just the beat. And like 6ix9ine was talking about, Tekashi 6ix9ine was talking about something in an interview about his songs, and I don't know which one it was, but one of his bigger songs that got a lot of radio play, and he was just like, he repeated some of his lyrics, and he's just like, I don't even know what that means, like, but people like it. And it's like, and it's true, like sometimes just a cool thing, like it just sounds good, but like I've learned that like to not like limit what I'll listen to by a genre or an artist because of whatever type of bias you think you have. Like people usually, so I work at School of Rock. I got your job basically when you left. I think you left it inside.
Did I?
Yeah.
You can continue talking.
Oh no, it's right there.
You can continue talking. I'm just
yeah. But so while she's getting her water, I got a job at School of Rock in Somerville. And it's pretty sweet teaching voice lessons and keyboard lessons, and every time I get a new student, I ask what they like listening to, and they'll be like, oh, I like this, I like that. Sometimes it's mostly rock because you go to School of Rock, a lot of them just like rock, some of them just like whatever. But when someone says I like all genres of music, I always go, country? Because they know they always.
I was just gonna say everybody I know, like not everybody I know, but a lot of people I know are like, I like everything. It's like you can see it on a dating profile.
Yeah,
on like
literally
on like a Tinder or something, like everything but country. It's like a prototype.
Or it's everything but country and polka. Those are the two things that I hear people like exclude from their list, and then on the other side it's just like, I need a country boy, and I'm like, okay, so this is the dichotomy of Tinder, I guess. So,
are there any country songs you like?
So that's the thing. I was one of those guys. I said I hate country, and then I guess being completely truthful, I've liked a couple girls that like country music, and they show me their songs, and that's literally the only reason I wanted to listen to it with an open heart.
Try to impress the ladies.
But then I listened to it and I'm like, you know what? This is really good. Like, why am I hating? And it's like you have like the one or two country songs that you think you know that what country is.
Yeah.
And then you listen to what country is. Like, if you say you don't like country, you don't listen to it and you don't know.
Yeah.
Because it's so, like, there's so many subgenres in country too. Like, there's pop country, like there's more rock country, there's classic where it's like real country, like kind of like in the woods type, you know, like, I don't know. I
guess if like Johnny Cash is country, I like Johnny Cash.
Yeah.
He's considered like folk, like country folk.
Yeah.
You know?
See, and there's so many genres. Like people want to say, you know.
Yeah. If you're the type of person who says I don't like country, then there's bound to be other genres you also don't like. You just don't know the names of them. Like you don't like corny music, I guess is what you're trying to say.
Yeah. Or like you don't like whatever is the most popular country thing that you see. Like.
Yeah.
Like a big thing that I think about now is like people love to get on like older people online about what they post, and it's just like, oh, okay, like, you know, oh, my grandma's on Facebook or my dad or whatever, and it's just like,
wait, so who's considered older people? Like my age or older?
No. What? I'd say our parents' age type of thing.
Gotcha. The baby boomers.
Yeah, but once they get online and everything, like everyone always wants to judge what they do. If they're like, oh my God, my dad just forwarded me one of those clickbaity things that says forward this and you'll win money.
Yeah.
And it's like, you don't know what their internet experience is. Like the internet's so personalized that like my internet experience being Batman, I'm Batman. and all the things that I like, I literally see that when I go on Google and it's a new tab, it says, do you want to see what Robert Pattinson looks like in his new Batman suit? Do you want to see what Dragon Ball Z creators said they were going to do? So the
algorithm has pretty much figured out that you're everything
Google knows me so well, and I appreciate it. You know, I love the targeted things that I get, but it really opened my eyes, and the targeted ads for products, like no one's internet experience is the same. And whatever you see with like country, like if you're not into it, you probably don't know what is in that world, you know? Like
my algorithm is so confused because it can't figure out if I'm male or female, because like sometimes it'll send me like things that are clearly for women, like bras and stuff, like bra sales, and then sometimes it'll be like, hey, you want to propose, like, and it'll be like clearly ads directed towards men, like trying to propose, or it'll be like, hey, there's hot single ladies, like, and like sexy ladies in my area, and then it'll go back to like, oh, you need these tampons, and I'm like, why is my like, what am I doing to like?
I have a story like that, and I was a little mad at it because I was like, what are you trying to say, Google? Or it was Facebook, I guess, but it's all the same. I don't know. But I literally, the day before this happened, I see a targeted ad, but the day before I'm talking about how I'm really realizing how like these ads are super targeted and like they pick them well, and I'm like, okay, this is kind of cool, you know, it's interesting. And the next day I go on Facebook and I see an advertisement for a gay meeting app, and it was like, and it was just like the punchline is the most funny part, but it was like oh, like you want to meet all these guys and all this stuff, and it was like a picture of a dude, attractive guy, whatever, and his name was Seth, and I was like, what?
Like, are you Seth? Or are you looking for Seth?
Yeah, like what? I don't know. It was
have you ever had any creepy moments where you felt like your phone was watching you or something? Like you felt? Do you have any creepy stories?
Let me tell you. Oh my God, what was I doing? I'm trying to think. It had something to do with like either I was doing something with my beard or my hair. I forget what the ad was, but it was a day that I woke up, I did my morning routine. I have my phone. I usually put it in the corner of my bathroom sink because the sound bounces off when I take a shower or whatever. Come out and I'm doing something and I'm thinking to myself, I know nobody's in the house. I haven't spoken a word all day.
Yeah.
And I was doing something. I can't remember what it was. Like maybe I wanted something like specifically for like beard treatment or something like that.
Yeah.
I didn't say anything, but because my phone was in the corner, it was facing me.
Yeah.
I got an ad for something. I feel so stupid that I can't remember what it was, but it was so specifically what I thought I needed.
Like you didn't even say it out loud. You just
I
thought
didn't.
it.
Yeah, and literally, I think that the phone camera was looking at me and was just like, he might need this, because how else would I've never spoken about any types of products like this. There's no reason it should have popped up other than the fact that I feel so dumb because like it would make sense if I could remember what the thing was.
One of the creepiest things I ever experienced was I was teaching. Actually, I have two creepy stories, but the first one, I was teaching a piano student, and he's Russian, and he's always like his mom speaks Russian, and I can't remember. I was asking him a question about like if he still speaks Russian or whatever. And we were just having a conversation about the Russian language. Like he wasn't speaking it to me. We were just talking about it. Later that day, I got an ad in Russian. So like, like I was like, why am I getting an ad in Russian? And like, I was like, I don't ever look up anything Russian like on the internet. So literally the phone heard us talking about like, oh, do you speak Russian? It probably thinks like I want to learn Russian or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And here's another thing that happened. That's more of like not the phone's listening to me, but like someone's trying to break into my passwords. And they did, because they found my password. So I got this email. I don't know if I feel like maybe everybody's got this email by now, but I'm like laughing about it. I got this email that said, we know your password, and they stated my password, and they're like, I'll let you get out if you give me $1,001.15. It was like something so specific, or else I'm going to send a picture of you masturbating, and I'm going to send the video, not picture, footage, video footage out to all 10 of your friends. It was like 15 of your friends, like a specific number.
As if that's even on your phone. Like they're like just grasping at straws.
Like, like 8 of your friends. They had like a really specific plan.
Yeah.
And all the sites you've watched. And then it goes, you've got great taste. And I'm like, for a good like 10 seconds, I was like, oh shit.
Oh my God.
I'm like, but then I thought about it. I'm like, wait a second. Like, if I'm like, you know, doing something to porn, I'm not like putting the camera all over my body. Like it's just gonna be my face.
Yeah, right.
It's just all my friends are gonna get is like a really unattractive angle of my face.
Yeah, you'd be like, get the.
And they're gonna be like, did you accidentally screenshot me?
Oh my God, that's so funny.
I was like, damn, like you can't even like the amount of times I've had to change my password because people are hacking my password. I can't even remember the new passwords anymore.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean.
I have like 5 that I always use, and
like
it's
you
like
keep having to rotate
it's
them.
because literally they'll be like a website and they go, oh, you can't use one of your last 5 passwords. So I have like maybe like one extra of whatever that number is, and I just rotate through, and one of them is like a phrase, and then the other one is the same phrase except there's a couple capitalizes and numbers in there, and then like, you know, it's, I don't know, try to make
so
some
annoying.
secure
like you
things.
I can't remember all these passwords. So every time I have to change it, it's just like, ugh.
They say write them down. It's like, I'm not gonna do that.
I don't do that.
I'll just make a new one.
It's so funny. Me and my dad share a family cell phone account. We don't live together. We just do it to like save money or whatever.
Yeah.
And whenever any of us has to get anything done on the cell phone, like either he'll call me or I'll call him and be like, do you know the password? And I'll be like, no, do you know it? Like none of us can keep track of it.
That's so funny.
But anyways, I wanted to open with a song, but we got carried away in conversation.
All right.
So getting back to you as a musician, Recurve the musician.
Recurve.
And by the way, if anybody's interested in seeing some of Seth's music and following him, he's on Instagram at Recurve, simply Recurve, which is such a sexy, sleek Instagram name. No hyphens or anything. Just Recurve.
You used to have Recurve music, and then I was like, Recurve just became
good.
Available.
Yeah.
Let me get that. And because Justin Bieber, it's not Justin Bieber music, you know?
So would you like to play for us one of your originals?
I will play an original song. This song is called I Think You're Cute. It's one of my favorite of my newer songs that I have. If I can get this. Okay. This should be good.
Do you want me to move I can move this closer.
I can honestly just do this. This will be better. Is that a spider? Oh.
That's the thing. I brought bug spray just in case we need it.
I gotta spray my keyboard. Okay. I've never played a keyboard like a laptop. There's something about the way you're making me feel tonight. My heart isn't beating right. But when I look in your eyes, it's just like a starry sky. You're making me feel just fine. And I wanna hold your hand, I wanna be your man, I wanna be the one you fall asleep with late at night. I wanna kiss and hold you tight. I say it out loud, I think you're cute. Wanna take the hell out of you, 'cause we can be everything I dreamed that love could be. But maybe it's all in my head. I know I've said these words before, and trust me, I could use a friend, but I've been looking for something more. My feelings tend to come out better when I write a song. It helps me to move along, but I don't know what I've been doing wrong. I wanna hold your hand, I wanna be your man, I wanna be the one you fall asleep with late at night. I wanna kiss and hold you tight. I say it out loud, I think you're cute. Wanna take the hell out of you, 'cause we can be everything I dreamed that love could be. A dream that love could be.
Yes. That's Recurve, everybody. Oh my God, that was so good. You wrote that?
Thank you so much. I did.
Oh my God, you're